Yeah, one of the best pieces of advice that I got when I first entered the world of real estate, and I was 23, 24 years old, so just a baby. But my mentor said to me, look, Athena, purchase a property, live in it for 2 years, and then rent it out. Use it as leverage, buy your next property.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm looking forward to chatting with, Athena Brownson, who has been making serious moves as a real estate agent and investor in the Denver area. So excited to have you on the show today.
Michelle, thank you so much for having me. I couldn't be more excited. I listen to this podcast religiously, and I'm constantly learning from it. So excited to impart whatever wisdom I have.
Amazing. Excited for you to share your wisdom as well. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching residential sales and managing and investing in properties. So let's dive in.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Great. So first off, for those not yet familiar with you and your world, can you share what your main focus is these days?
Absolutely. I would say my main focus is residential sales. Primarily, I do work with a handful of investors, but my other half of my passion is developing properties. So I'm working on my fourth project right now, building from dirt, and couldn't be more excited with the creative process involved with that.
Cool. And are you only focused on Denver, or are there other markets that you serve?
So I primarily focus on the greater Denver metro region. I do go up to the mountains. I grew up in a small ski town called Breckenridge, so I do still do quite a bit of sales up there. But I have referral partners all over the country that are specialists in their areas, so I like to refer business out that's anywhere that's not my absolute expertise.
Amazing. What got you started in your real estate career?
Absolutely. So a short version, I never expected to find myself in real estate. I actually grew up in a real estate family, and because of that, never thought that I wanted anything to do with it. I found myself working as a residential interior designer, loved it, but found that I needed something where I could be my own boss, where however much work I put in, I was getting out of it. I had a dear friend at the time who suggested I speak to the owner of her company about real estate, and I did that. I had lunch with him, and the very next day I quit my interior design job, and started real estate school. That was 11 years ago, and it was the best decision I ever could have made.
Amazing. What have been some of the main keys that have allowed your business to grow and continue to run smoothly?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors, working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Absolutely. So definitely a multifaceted answer. I think we live in a really exciting time where we have educational tools at our fingertips. And when it comes down to learning and growing your business and say you want to start investing in real estate and you have no idea where to start, because let's be frank, none of us do have any idea, know where to start. But we have these opportunities to pretty much find amazing opportunities, educationally speaking, all over the internet, listening to podcasts like this, finding mentors that are enabling you to really understand what it is you're doing. Because I think the biggest issue that we find in real estate is not having a clear vision about where you want to go. So understanding that if you educate yourself and give yourself the tools to succeed and have that clarity of vision, it's going to make your decision-making process that much easier, because it's going to become black and white. You know what your goal is, you know what your vision is. So when a question comes in, when an opportunity comes in, it's a yes or a no, and then it enables you to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. I love that. I think that is so important to continue to educate and grow because, yeah, these industries are ever changing.
Yeah, and understanding that, every city is very different. So what are the rental laws in each state and city? In Denver, for instance, it has to be your primary residence in order to do Airbnb. So if you're an investor, Airbnb is probably not going to be the best choice for you. So really making sure that you're educated and you're surrounding yourself with the people that are doing what it is that you want to be doing. I think proximity is everything.
Definitely, that's an important thing to know. What are you most focusing on solving or scaling to next in your business?
Absolutely. So right now I'm focused on not only growing my team by really systematizing what our processes are, how we work, what our client experience is, what investors that we're going to be focused on working with. I'm very focused on growing my team so that we can help more families and individuals in reaching their real estate goals. And the other half of me is very focused on finding different opportunities for development, really looking at what regions in Denver are appreciating at the best rate, so that if I'm starting a project now, for instance, in 18 to 24 months, what can I forecast that market is going to be looking like? And honestly, that is probably one of the most exciting but critical parts of development, is really forecasting what we think a neighborhood is going to be. And that's the same thing with investors, understanding that if you want to have a long-term hold property, you should be understanding what the average annual appreciation is, not only what the cap rate is, but really get as much data as you possibly can so that you can make the most educated decision possible.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such an exciting and balanced approach that you are taking.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So I know that you mentioned you have some of your own investment properties. Can you share what that's been like?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, one of the best pieces of advice that I got when I first entered the world of real estate, and I was 23, 24 years old. So just a baby. But my mentor said to me, look, Athena, purchase a property, live in it for 2 years, and then rent it out. Use it as leverage, buy your next property, live in it for 2 years, rent it out, use it as leverage to buy your next property. And that was probably one of the most pivotal piece of advice that I was given at a very young age, because I never expected myself to be a real estate investor, so to speak. But what he taught me was that no matter what your real estate goals are, they are attainable. There are so many ways to be creative in attaining new properties and becoming an investor. So I now, I have a portfolio of 4 rental properties that I personally don't manage. I realized very quickly that I don't have the bandwidth or the expertise, but I do have a great team. I think finding your team is one of the most critical parts of investing in real estate, period. So looking at who are the best property managers. Do you have a contractor that can be on call for anything that's needed? What is your exit strategy if you do need to exit? Thinking of all the what ifs and making sure that you have the right team around you. So I'm very fortunate. I've built an amazing team that has allowed me to continually cash flow these properties while they're appreciating, at an average of about 15% annually, which is incredible because they are going to be long-term holds for me. And these properties I am able to use as leverage for then purchasing properties that I'm going to be scraping and developing. So real estate's exciting because it really all can stack and snowball on itself. There's so much opportunity for creative financing and using these properties to create new opportunities for yourself that you never even dreamed of. So that's the best piece of advice I ever got was just buy a property, live in it for 2 years, make it a rental, use it as leverage. And I think that is the most basic way to start investing in real estate.
Yeah, that's such good advice. Is there a particular reason that you need to live in it for a few years first?
Yeah. So in order for it to be considered a primary residence, and in Denver, you need to be able to get a rental license as a primary residence. You have to have lived in it for 2 out of the 5 years that you've owned it. That's also the time frame where if you were to sell the property, you wouldn't have capital gains tax if it was your primary residence. So that 2-year mark is really what investors also, or excuse me, what lenders are going to be looking at also for using the property as leverage for another property. But really, it's just having that primary residence status that enables a lot more opportunities, at least in my market.
Eh, That is good to know for people. Cool. So, when it comes to growing your business, whether that has been through networking or creating new relationships, what are some tactics that have made the biggest difference for you?
Absolutely. So I'm a firm believer in relationship-based business. Everything I do in my business is to really build deeper relationships with the clients that I have so that I can really understand what their needs are and how I can assist them to the best of my abilities. And that includes understanding, their communication style, understanding if they're very analytical or if they are absolutely don't want to hear you spout off numbers forever. So I think that something that we're encountering a lot right now as the world changes very quickly, especially with AI and everything technologically going on, is that we forget that the basics of real estate, the basics of growing any business need to be the focus and at the forefront of everything that you're doing. So I really focus my daily routine on implementing the basics very well. And to me, the basics is, how many phone calls am I making? How many personal notes am I writing? Am I doing face-to-face meetings every day? Am I doing lunches and dinners with clients? What am I doing, on a consistent, regular basis to make sure that I'm deepening relationships with people, staying at the top of their mind? And that way, no matter when real estate comes up, your name is going to be the first one that comes out of their mouth. And whether you're an investor, you want to make sure that, you're agents are thinking of you consistently to make sure that they're finding you the best possible deals. And when you're an agent, you want to make sure that your clients are thinking of you consistently. So I follow something called a greatness tracker, and I literally check off every day what activities that I've gotten done. And they're all very basic. And it's because the basics are what enable our businesses not to have these huge ebbs and flows that tend to happen in real estate. It helps keep a little bit more consistency. And I do notice that when I'm not doing these activities, consistently, my business takes a hit. So it's critical for me as a leader, as an agent, to make sure that I'm implementing the basics at the highest possible standard so that I'm giving my clients the best experience, and I'm staying top of mind with them. We don't need to overcomplicate things. Yes, there are amazing, opportunities with AI and how we can utilize to be more efficient. But at the same time, it's very critical to not forget to do what it is that brought you success in the first place.
Absolutely. That is really good advice. Relationships are everything in this space.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Everything. And that's why I love real estate. Honestly, I get to build lifelong relationships with incredible people that have really big dreams. I get to surround myself with like-minded individuals. And I believe when you surround yourself with that energy, it just elevates you to be the best you can possibly be. And that's the same, as an investor, making sure that you're sitting down and talking with other seasoned investors who has done what it is that you want to be accomplishing. And when you sit down with these people, they're more than happy to share this knowledge with you, because at the end of the day, there's enough pie for everyone. And if someone has the opportunity to sit down with you and explain how they found success, help you understand different strategies and techniques, that is a relationship that you want to hold on to, because that person is helping elevate you to be the best version of yourself. And in turn, they're probably learning something by teaching you. So it's an amazing business. I feel super fortunate.
Yeah, amazing. I love how you shared that. There's definitely so much value in that exchange.
Right?
Awesome. So I know you mentioned you work with some investors when it comes to the residential market that you're in. Are like these investors typically people that live in Denver or out of state? Like, what's kind of your ideal target?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do work with a couple investors that are out of state. My preference is definitely to work with people within, the Denver metro region. And that's just because I am going to be able to really be hands-on with them, walk different properties, not just be FaceTiming or sending videos. I want to get boots on the ground with my investors and really be able to understand what it is that they're getting into. So, how important it is to understand, what the inspection looks like. If you're able to do an inspection on a property, how much are you actually going to have to put into a property in order to get it to a livable, rentable position, or whether you're doing fix and flips, which is honestly what the majority of the investors I work with are. So it's a lot of hunting down off-market opportunities for my local investors, walking the properties with them. Oftentimes these are deals that are closing, in about 7 days. So usually we're walking the properties with my contractor, with their contractors, not necessarily doing an inspection, because you're have a 7-day timeline and there's usually no contingencies. But again, that's where the team comes in, making sure that you have the best possible team so that we can go into the property, as a team, understand, okay, this is going to need a new furnace, a new roof. How's the foundation looking? Like, what are all the MECs? How are they functioning? Am I going to have to upgrade everything? So that we really, again, have that clarity of what it's going to take to get this property to its best possible condition, so that you can then achieve whether your goal is, immediately flipping it or putting a renter in it and having it as a long-term hold. But I would say that's who I love to work with the most.
Amazing. Yeah, sounds like you have so much knowledge on what is serving for your market.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Of course. What are some of the goals you have for the direction that you want your business to continue to grow in?
Absolutely. So, I really attribute my own success to the fact that I had an amazing mentor when I began in real estate. So right now I have a team of 4 agents, and I couldn't be happier. They're people that I have known for decades. So my goal is definitely to continue growing my team so that we can help the largest number of people possible in achieving their real estate goals, but not just growth for growth's sake. I'm very intentional with who I'm bringing onto the team to make sure that we all have a common vision, that we all are aligned in what our goals are and have that clarity and belief system. So I definitely will continue to slowly grow my team. I don't plan on having a mega team, but the more amazing agents that I can help learn the business, they can help assist more clients and more investors, and it can change their lives as well by, learning simple tricks like buying a property and then living in it and renting it out. The other side of my world will be continuing to develop properties. My goal right now is to be doing about 1 a year, but when I look further down my timeline, I would love to be doing, 4 to 10 units a year. And I primarily focus on single family at the moment, but I would love to expand more into getting into duplexes, maybe quadplexes. I definitely don't foresee myself developing giant condo projects or anything like that, but I love being a part of the creative process and being able to really work with my architect, use my interior design background to really make a property unique. And, I'm walking properties with buyers and sellers all day. So I understand what it is that buyers are looking for in these homes, and being able to take that knowledge and use it within my development world with my own creativity is probably one of the most rewarding things that I'm involved in. And I can't wait to continue expanding that.
Amazing. That is so exciting. I love
So fun.
everything that you're creating, and I love your passion for it.
Thank you. I feel very fortunate. I think real estate has the opportunity to change people's lives exponentially. And I don't know many other, ways that you can really build long-term financial freedom in a pretty unique way. I think real estate can work for a lot of people because there are so many different routes on how to be successful in real estate, and to be able to really inform people on what those routes are is something that I'm so grateful to be able to do.
Absolutely. Well, before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more, where can people connect with you?
Yeah, so I would say my Instagram has all of my contact info on it, my phone number, my email, my website. I'd love to speak with you. I don't bite. So my Instagram is just at Athena, Athena Brownson, Brownson, Realtor. So please feel free to reach out. I'd love to be of assistance or give you any points of wisdom that I have.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Of course. And for the listeners tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you've subscribed. We have more conversations with operators like Athena who are building real businesses. And we'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.